My name is Raya. I was born in Prague. I am a Jew, and I survived terrorism. Mother Irina, Hansa, they are all gone. And I am alone. But that is not important. Only one thing is important. That I am a Jew, and that I survived. The definition of courage depends on the person, the place, and the situation. But we've all experienced courage in some way, shape, or form. For people who deal with depression, courage is getting out of bed each morning. For a mom of many, courage is making the 18,922nd peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Or if you're a man and you're lost, courage is getting up the guts to ask for directions. When we think of the word courage, we usually think of courageous people facing extraordinary situations, as is the case in many of the stories I will share with you today. But we should never lose sight of the fact that overcoming any obstacle that you find to be difficult is courageous. Raya experienced courage when she realized that the need to live was far greater than the fear of death. The fictionalized story of the real Holocaust survivor, Raya, is recorded in the play I Never Saw Another Butterfly by Celeste Responde. Raya's teacher, Irina, helped the children of terrorism concentration camp cope with their fear by writing poems and drawing pictures about what they felt and saw. Come, you must go along now to the bathhouse, dear. Don't be afraid. This is a real bathhouse. You can have soap and take a shower. What is your name? I'm Irina Sikova. I'm a teacher here at Terezin. Now that you know my name, you must tell me yours. My number is tattooed here. Raya. Come, Raya. Let me tell you about our school. It was months before I could say anything, but my name is Raya. I said it over and over, just to make sure I still knew my name. Raya. Irina, I want to go home. I hate this place and everything. Raya, listen to me. You are no longer a child. I was a child there. I became a woman there because I learned another word. Courage. And found a determination to live, to believe in life. Raya, you know by now that my mother was called. I have wrapped up the elasticity pictures and poems in my shawl. Remember what they mean to all of us. I have nothing else to give you but this. The fields, the flowers, and all the butterflies. Goodbye. Irina Sinkova, perished at Auschwitz, January 28, 1945. And I survived. I, Raya, returned to Prague. Not alone, and not afraid. Once Raya recognized that the courage lived inside her, she found the determination to live. She still had a great fear of death, but her courage far outweighed her fear. The cowardly lion in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum doesn't believe that courage lives inside him. He believes that courage must be given to him. And so he goes on a great journey with his friends Dorothy, the Scarecrow, and the Woodman to find the wizard and ask him for courage. What makes you a coward?
It's a mystery. I suppose I was born that way. All the other animals naturally expect me to be brave, for the lion is everywhere thought to be king of beasts. I'm such a coward. It is my great sorrow and makes my life very unhappy. Whenever there is danger, my heart begins to beat fast.
You ought to be glad, for it proves you have a heart. For my part, I have no heart. Perhaps if I had no heart,
head is stuffed with straw.
And I'm going to ask him to give me a heart. And I'm going to ask him to send Toto and me back to Kansas.
Do you think Oz could give me courage? I am Oz, the great and terrible. Who are you and why do you seek me? I am a cowardly lion afraid of everything. I come to you to beg that you give me courage, so that in reality I may become King Beast, as men call me. Why should I give you courage? Because you alone have the power to grant my request.
By the end of our tale, we find that the wizard is not really great and terrible. In fact, he's a little short man, who, although may not be great, still wants to help. He has given the woodman his heart, the scarecrow his brains. Now it is the lion's turn to receive his courage.
Come in. I have come for my courage.
Very well, I will get it for you.
Drink. What is it?
Well, if it were inside of you, it would be courage. You know, of course, that courage is always inside one. So that this really cannot be called courage until you have swallowed it. Therefore, I advise you to drink it as soon as possible.
How do you feel now? Full of courage.
The lion had it in him all along. He always had courage, but like patience, it just needed to be practiced. Deuteronomy 31:6 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." On April 20th, 1999, Cassie Bernal was brutally murdered at Columbine High School. Cassie is considered by many to be a martyr. Martyrs over the years have had incredible courage to face death in order to stand up for their belief in God. Cassie, at the age of 17, had incredible courage in the face of death. D.C. Talk wrote part of Cassie's story in the book Jesus Freaks, along with the story I will be using the lyrics to the song This Is Your Time by Michael W. Smith. Mr. Smith wrote the song in memory of Cassie. She was 17 years old. He stood glaring at her, his weapon before her face.
Do you believe in God?
It was a life or death question. Yes, I believe in God.
Why?
But he never gave her the chance to respond. The teenage girl lay at his feet. This was her time. This was her dance. She lived every moment, left nothing to chance. She swam in the sea, drank the deep, embraced the mystery of all she could be. What if tomorrow, what if today, faced with the question, oh, what would you say? I learned another word, courage, and found the determination to live. He always had courage, but like patience, it just needed to be practiced. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Yes, I believe in God. What if tomorrow, what if today, faced with the question, oh, what would you?